What's up? It's Rob from Superhuman Bikes with another Babymaker and Photon production update. Let's get right into it. The last one you saw was from the frame factory. You saw frames being built, ready to go. Now this is at the paint factory, the next step here. And these photos are about 10 to 14 days old here. So we've got the wheels after painting. These are for the Photons in blue. Now the Babymaker in red. Absolutely gorgeous here. You notice, by the way, the smooth welds on all these bikes. This is something we do that not a lot of bike companies do, and it really streamlines the bike. You can't really tell where one pipe ends and the other begins. You don't see those jagged weld lines like other bikes. I love it. Makes the bike look nice. This is from the assembly factory. We've got Babymaker 2s all in a lineup, completely assembled and ready to ship on to you. These are the classics. You'll notice by the chain here and the rim brakes up front. We've got a lineup of pros here. All the colors. We've got the white, yellow, black, red. You can see them all. You notice barcodes too on a lot of these bikes. That's how we keep track of them during production, so you don't get the wrong bike. We've got the through axle there. And that's a huge thing, just to keep the wheel on super secure. Very hard for through axle to come out compared to a quick release axle. Does add a little bit of cost to the bike. Here you see the classic in red. We've got the rim brakes there, chain. And check this out. You'll see we've got the Superhuman logo going down one side and going up the other side. So it's two different logos with different angles. This was a very big puzzle for our designers to figure out. I think it turned out tremendous. I love the look of the bikes. Super cool. You notice the seat's really high on these two. When you get your bike, obviously adjust that to fit your height. We keep them high so we don't scratch up this seat before it ships on to you. Okay, beautiful. We've got the classics in black, and this is the 23-inch size. You notice this big tall angle on the rear triangle. It sits a bit more horizontal. This top tube here, that's the larger 23-inch size. And now the smaller 19-inch size here. Less of an angle right here and a little bit of a slope on that top tube. For the folks who sit a little bit shorter, like myself, this is a great size. You notice too, we've got in this version, Babymaker 2 Pro and Classic, longer stem, so your reach is going to be increased a little bit. And we've got a bit of a rise in the handlebar, about a 1-inch rise here. So overall, your hands are going to sit a little bit higher here than they did in the Babymaker 2. And that's something we saw a lot of riders were doing. They were getting adjustable stems, raising their handlebars, etc., just to pop them up a little bit. So straight out of the box, this will be configured, we think, to fit a bit more of our riders. We've got a lot of photos here, so I'll just be zooming through these. Beautiful. This is in white. It's tough to pick a favorite color. Each time we come out with some new different colors, and red, yellow, black, white, they're all gorgeous to me. Beautiful. Here you see the carbon gates belt drive on the Babymaker 2 Pro. That's something that just makes this bike. There are some copycats of the Babymaker. Absolutely. A lot of them use a cheaper Chinese belt drive. It's called the Top Trans belt drive. We actually tested that belt drive in our initial Babymaker prototypes for the Babymaker 1. We were testing this back in 2019. We tried the Top Trans. We were initially going to use that belt, and during testing, Pete took it on this 3,000-mile test through Europe. Climbing hills, that belt was just always slipping. It was really annoying. That's why we went with the tried and true Carbon Gates belt drive. It didn't make sense to cheap out on a belt because you want the best experience. So same thing when you're riding your Babymaker around, you might see a copycat or two. Check out the belt, see if it's got the Carbon Gates or the cheap copycat version. Yellow, it's just awesome. It's kind of got that bumblebee flavor to it. Here we've got the Photon. A few folks were asking for some improvements on the undercarriage, just on how the cap goes on under the battery if you ever need to service the battery. So we did do that. We got that in with this round, a bit more streamlined undercarriage on the Photon. These are the Photon Pros, ready to go. All the colors, beautiful. More Babymakers, and I think we're getting to the end of the photos here. Tires, motors, chains. Awesome. We do have a little bit different of a display on this one. I don't have a photo with the display on, but we've got a slightly upgraded display. And check out the grips too. Initially we had the vinyl wrapped grips on the Babymaker II, and over time the vinyl would slip over the rubber, and it was just kind of a weird thing. So we're going all rubber with the Babymaker II Pro and Classic here. Beautiful. That's the end of the photos. In terms of shipping, so all of the bikes have been completely assembled. They're at the factory. Assembly Factory thinks they're going to ship them out this weekend. Conservatively, let's call that early next week. I know this is a bit longer than we had said in the last update. These are just the best times I'm getting from the Assembly Factory. It took them longer to get these bikes painted and assembled than we expected. We are still on track though for end of May shipping to you. So they're going to get boxed up over the weekend, shipped out early next week, we believe, to the freight forwarder who ships them by sea to the U.S. They clear customs, come to our warehouse. From there, we put the shipping label on it. You'll get the tracking number from that shipping label emailed direct to you, and the bike will come straight to your door. So it's looking like end of May right now for that shipping, that last leg onto you. There are a couple variables. There's customs, there's on the water time, and any transit time in between. If any of those drag on, there could be plus or minus a few days here or there, but we will keep you updated every step of the way. The bikes are absolutely beautiful. They're going to be well worth the wait. Thank you guys for your patience, for following along with these production updates. If you got any questions, let me know, and we'll see you in the next one.